What if the only way to make her regret losing you is by no longer caring whether she does? What if the more you pull away, the more she feels it? See, most men get this completely wrong. They believe that chasing, pleading, and proving themselves will bring her back. But it doesn't. All that does is confirm what she already thinks, that she's in control, that she's the prize, that you need her. But the moment you stop, and I mean truly stop, everything starts to shift. Think about it. When was the last time you really missed someone? It wasn't when they were constantly around, constantly vying for your attention. No, it was when they vanished. When their silence echoed. When you started wondering if they ever even needed you at all. That's the key. She expects you to be in pain. She expects you to beg. She expects you to break down, because that's what most men do. But when you do nothing, when you disappear like she never mattered, that shakes her. Silence becomes your power. Absence breeds doubt. And doubt, that doubt, is the seed that grows into full-blown regret. She might have been confident when she left, certain you'd always be there, certain that, if she ever wanted to, she could just walk back in. But the moment you stop feeding her ego, the moment she realizes she's not as important as she thought, that confidence, it starts to crack. And that's when everything changes. This is your moment of decision. Will you let heartbreak define you? Will you chase after someone who already let go? Or will you become the man she never saw coming? A man so calm, so unfazed, that she starts questioning herself instead. Because here's the truth. The strongest position in any relationship, in any scenario, is the one of least attachment. The one who's least affected, least emotionally invested, wins. That's why the more you ignore her, the more she feels it. Because people don't treasure what's handed to them freely. They value what they have to earn. In this video, I'll walk you through how to reclaim your power, using principles from Stoicism and dark psychology. Step by step, you'll learn how to detach, how to rebuild, and how to make her feel your absence like a ghost she can't forget. By the end of this, you won't just be stronger, you'll be untouchable. So if you're done hurting, if you're ready to become the one she wishes she never lost, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. And I control my emotions. They do not control me. Now, let's begin. Number 1, the power of absence. The more you ignore her, the deeper she feels it. Why? Because human nature is wired for contrast. We only begin to value something once it's gone. Think about the air you breathe. You don't notice it until you're underwater, gasping for it. Attention is no different. As long as she knows you're there, waiting, you're forgettable. But the moment you vanish, the moment your presence fades into silence, she feels that loss like a piece of herself just went missing. Right now, she assumes she's got you on standby. She believes that if she ever reached out, you'd show up in an instant. And that certainty? It makes you predictable. And predictability is the death of attraction. But once you step away, once you cut off the flow of attention she took for granted, everything begins to change. A void appears, and the human mind hates voids. It scrambles to fill them, with questions, with doubts, with regret. Did I mess up? Why hasn't he called? Did he move on already? Was I wrong about him? The second you stop feeding her ego, she starts questioning if she ever really had you at all. That's the start of her losing control. Absence is power because absence creates scarcity, and scarcity is what creates value. This is why luxury brands limit their products. How do you think a Rolex costs more than a standard watch? Not because it tells time better, but because it's rare, because not everyone can get one. The same rule applies to you. If you're too available, too easy to reach, you lose value. But when you become scarce, she starts to see you differently. That's why the first step in making her feel your absence is complete and total silence. No texts, no calls, no watching her stories, no liking her posts. You disappear, and when you do, she'll feel it, like a blade, because now, for the first time, she has to face the reality of a world without you in it. And trust me, she will notice. She might pretend not to. She'll post, she'll laugh. She might even act like she's already moved on. But in those quiet moments, when no one's watching, she'll feel it. She'll check her phone, expecting a message that never arrives. She'll glance at her notifications, looking for your name. And with each silent day that passes, the wondering grows. Did I really lose him for good? That is where regret begins. So if you're done being taken for granted, if you're ready to make your silence hit deep, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. To my silence speaks louder than words. Number 2, indifference is the ultimate power move. Nothing makes someone question their decisions faster than indifference. Not anger, not sadness, not even silence. True power, real control, comes from acting like you don't care one bit. Emotions are leverage. If you react, she knows she still affects you. If you lash out, if you try to spark jealousy, if you obsess over her every move online, you lose, because all that tells her one thing: you're still emotionally invested, and the one who's more invested always holds less power. But when you give her nothing, no reaction, no response, no validation, that's when she starts to unravel. That's when the panic sets in. She doesn't know where she stands anymore. She expected you to chase. She thought you'd be affected. But now, she's the one who feels off balance. Here's a harsh truth. When someone is certain they can have you whenever they want, they stop valuing you. But when that certainty disappears, everything changes. That's why indifference is the ultimate power move. Because once you stop showing her she matters, she starts questioning why. She'll look for signs that you're struggling without her. And when she sees nothing, no hint of pain, no weakness, that's when the loss sets in. Think about it. How do people react when they lose something important? They try to find it, they try to fix it, but when they realize it may actually be gone, that's when desperation kicks in. And that's exactly what happens when you master indifference. You don't ignore her to win her back. You ignore her because you don't need her anymore. That shift in energy, that's what drives her to obsession. She'll test you, little breadcrumbs just to see if you'll bite. A random like, a subtle post, a pointless message meant to pull a reaction. Don't fall for it. Every time you respond, you reset the game. Every time you engage, you hand her back the power. So you stay still, you stay cold. You show her that she no longer holds any relevance in your life, and that is what forces her to rethink everything. If you're done reacting, if you're ready to reclaim your power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, "Son, I owe nothing to the past." Number 3, you were never chasing her. You were chasing validation. Let's be brutally honest. Was it really her you wanted? Or was it the way she made you feel? Was it the thrill of being chosen? The rush of being desired? The high that comes from someone wanting you? Most men don't realize this until it's already too late. They think they're heartbroken over her, but what they're truly grieving is how she made them feel about themselves. And that's the trap. If you don't recognize it, you'll keep chasing, not because she's one of a kind, but because you've become addicted to feeling enough. Here's the brutal truth. If you had truly loved her, you would have loved yourself first, but instead, you gave her the power to define your worth. You let her approval shape how you saw yourself, and the moment she pulled away, you felt empty. Not because she wasn't the one, but because you lost your only source of validation. That ends now. You were never chasing her. You were chasing the illusion that you needed her to feel whole. But let me ask you this. What happens when you stop? What happens when you decide you don't need anyone's approval to feel valuable? You let her approval shape how you saw yourself. Everything changes. Because now, instead of chasing external validation, you begin building it from within. You stop looking to her for happiness and start turning inward, and when that happens, you become untouchable. Here's what no one tells you. Women are drawn to men who don't need them, not because they want to be ignored, but because self-sufficiency is attractive. A man who doesn't crave her attention, who doesn't need her approval, who doesn't require her presence to feel complete. That's the man she can't stop thinking about. So stop chasing the high of being chosen. Stop seeking worth outside yourself. The moment you realize that the only person whose approval matters is yours, you break free from the cycle. And here's the twist. The moment you stop needing her validation, she starts needing yours. So if you're done searching for value in others, if you're ready to become your own source of validation, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, and I validate myself. No one else has that power. Number 4, the Stoic mindset. Detach or be destroyed. When it comes to heartbreak, there are only 2 paths: detach or be destroyed. You can let it break you, let it take over your thoughts, let it reduce you to desperation and weakness, or you can take that pain and turn it into fuel to become something greater. Understand this, Stoicism is not about hiding your emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about embracing one simple truth. You don't control other people, you only control yourself. And that's where most men fall. They waste hours overanalyzing her actions, picking apart her words, obsessing over whether she's already moved on. But that's the path of destruction. That's the mindset of weakness. Because every second you spend focused on her is a second stolen from building you. A Stoic man doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't need closure. Why? Because he knows one thing. He only controls his response, not her decisions. She left, so be it. That's outside your control. What is in your control? Your reaction, your focus, your growth. your discipline. And here's the twist. When you truly detach, when you stop caring whether she regrets it or not, that's when she feels your absence most. Because you're no longer emotionally hooked. You're no longer hers. Detachment is freedom. Freedom from seeking validation. Freedom from chasing pointless answers. Freedom from emotional slavery. So here's what you do. You stop watching her life like a spectator. No more checking her stories. No more scrolling through her photos. No more imagining the what-ifs. Every second spent on the past is a second wasted on your future. Shift your energy. Focus on your body. Hit the gym. Focus on your craft. Sharpen your mind. Create a life so complete that whether she returns or not, it makes no difference, because by then, you've already moved too far ahead. That's when the power flips. When she sees you didn't just survive, you thrived. If you're ready to stop the suffering, if you're ready to master your mind, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, and I control my focus. And my focus is on me. Number 5, the reverse chase. Make her feel your absence right now. She thinks she's won. She imagines you're there, suffering in silence, waiting for a chance to prove your worth. But what happens when the roles reverse? What happens when you stop chasing, and she starts chasing you? Most men make the fatal mistake of thinking they need to endow something to win her back. Wrong. The real move? Do nothing. Because the moment you disappear, the second you show absolute indifference, when you completely remove yourself from her world, her own mind turns against her. It starts small, with curiosity. At first, she expects you'll reach out, but you don't. So she notices. She tells herself it's just temporary, but days pass, then weeks, and suddenly, number 5, the reverse chase. Let her feel your absence. She's checking her phone, refreshing your socials, wondering why you haven't cracked yet. Then that curiosity begins to shift into doubt. Was I wrong about him? Could I misjudge his worth? Why isn't he reacting like I thought he would? Her ego starts taking the hit, and that's when she begins reaching. All subtle attempts just to see if you'll respond. A random like, a vague post that feels aimed at you, a meaningless message crafted to trigger a reply. And this is where most men fold. Because the second you react, the second you engage, the chase resets. She gets her confirmation. You were just waiting for her to toss you a crumb. But when you stay cold, when you move like she no longer exists, that's when the fear creeps in. Now she doesn't just miss you, she starts wondering if she ever truly had you. She begins chasing the validation she once assumed was guaranteed, and the more she reaches, the more you pull back. The more you withdraw, the more powerful you become in her mind. This is the reverse chase. The moment where she starts doubting herself, not you, but it only works if you have the discipline to hold the line. So what do? You keep moving forward. You keep building. You don't check her stories. You don't respond to her bait. You don't give her a single sign that she still matters. Because trust this, when she realizes you're truly gone, that's when she feels it the hardest. If you're done chasing, if you're ready to become the one who gets chased, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, since I am the prize and I do not chase. Number 6, how to kill her curiosity. The silent mystery curiosity is a powerful thing. It eats at the mind when it can't find answers. And right now she expects clarity. She thinks she'll see signs of your pain. She's waiting to spot some signal that you're still affected. But what happens when you give her nothing? No updates, no vague captions, no selfies trying to prove you're winning. Just silence. That's when curiosity morphs into obsession. Most guys? They make it easy. They post quotes about moving on, secretly hoping she sees. They watch her stories, leaving digital breadcrumbs of desperation. They let her know they're still paying attention. And guess what? That ruins the mystery. It confirms everything she assumed, that she's still living rent-free in your mind. But when you disappear, when she can't read your next move, that's when her own mind turns against her. She checks your profile, nothing. She asks around, no updates. She waits for a mistake, for you to post something, anything. But you don't. And that silence, it drives her crazy. Because now, you're unpredictable. Now she has to guess, and the brain hates incomplete stories, so it fills in the blanks. Did he replace me? Is he really that unbothered? Was I never as important as I thought? And when a woman starts asking herself those questions, the power shifts completely. This is why silence speaks louder than any words. This is why mystery outweighs attention. When you become an unknown, when she can't read you or place you, that void she once ignored becomes undeniable. She has to know. And that need for answers? That's when she starts chasing. If you're ready to haunt her with your absence, if you're done giving her clues, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. Feign my silence creates power. Number 7. Emotional mastery. Never let them see you sweat the second your emotions take the wheel. You've already lost. It doesn't matter how far you've come, how strong you think you are. If she sees you break, even for a second, she knows she still owns space in your head. And that's the one thing you can't afford to give away. Because here's the reality. She will test you. She'll post things just to poke at your pride. She might message you just to bait a reaction. She'll pretend she's moved on, just to see if it stings, but you remain composed. Emotional control is lethal. It makes people nervous. When they expect you to react and you don't, they feel off balance, because now they're unsure. They're the ones wondering what's going on in your mind, and that is when the power truly flips. Ask yourself, who holds the real power in any situation? The one who reacts, or the one who stays calm no matter what? It's always the one who controls his response, not the one controlled by emotion. From this point forward, you operate with emotional mastery. No anger, no sadness, no frustration. If she texts you, you take your time, or you don't reply at all. If she tries to make you jealous, you act like you didn't even notice. If she tries to bait an argument, you don't even engage. Because the moment you show her that she no longer has any emotional grip on you, that's when she truly starts to feel it. Number 8. The cold shoulder. How to handle seeing her again at some point. You will see her again, maybe by chance. Maybe because she's trying to cross paths with you. Either way, this is your moment. Your chance to show her, without saying a word, that you are no longer the man she left behind. Most men blow this. They overdo it, acting too happy, too unaffected, or too flashy, hoping she notices. Wrong move. That's the surest sign you're still thinking about her, and she'll see right through it. Instead, you give her the cold shoulder. Not bitter or forced, but calm, distant. A silent message that says, "You're no longer significant enough to affect me." Here's how you do it. If she looks at you, acknowledge her with pure neutrality. No excitement, no hostility, just an indifferent glance, like she's just another person in the room. If she tries to talk, keep it short and unemotional. No deep conversations, no reminiscing, no giving her the satisfaction of knowing you still care. If she asks how you're doing, don't try to impress. Simply say, "I'm good." Nothing more. No explanations, no flexing. The less you say, the stronger you appear. What you're doing is forcing her to feel the weight of your absence, not by avoiding her, but through emotional distance. You're showing her she no longer has access to the man she once knew, and that stings the most. Because now, instead of feeling like she can come back whenever she wants, she begins to wonder if she ever mattered at all. She starts feeling replaced, not by another woman, but by a version of you beyond her reach. That's the real victory. Not revenge, not jealousy. Simply being so unbothered that she realizes she lost something she'll never get back. If you're done wasting energy on the past, if you're ready to make her truly feel the cost of losing you, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, "Then I am out of reach." Number 9. The rebirth. Becoming a man she can't reach anymore. There comes a point in this journey where you stop caring about her altogether. Not pretending, not forcing it, but because you've outgrown her. This is the rebirth. The moment you step into a version of yourself she can no longer access. A version so evolved, so focused, so unbothered, that even if she wanted to come back, she couldn't. Because you're no longer playing in the same league. Most men waste their time trying to win the breakup, trying to make her regret, trying to prove something. That's small thinking. The real win is when she becomes completely irrelevant to your life, because the truth is, she was never the prize. You were. And the fact she didn't see it, that's her loss. So what does this rebirth look like? You become laser focused on your goals. So focused that thoughts of her don't even cross your mind. You level up, physically, mentally, financially. So much that if she saw you now, she wouldn't recognize the man she walked away from. Stop seeking validation from anyone, because you've built an unshakable self-worth right inside yourself. And here's the irony. The moment you reach this level, the moment you stop wanting her to regret leaving, is the moment she actually does. Because now, she's not dealing with the man she left. She's dealing with a man she can never get back. That's what truly haunts people. Not losing someone, but realizing they lost someone untouchable. And you don't even care anymore. Because the person you've become, the life you've built, it's too good to waste on the past. If you're ready to step into your next level, if you're ready to become someone she can never reach again, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I'm untouchable. Number 10. The final lesson. You never needed her anyway. Here's a truth you didn't want to face when you started this journey. You never needed her. Not then, not now, not ever. You thought you did. You convinced yourself she was the missing piece, that she completed you. That was a lie. One you told yourself because you hadn't yet realized your own power. Power. Look at where you stand now. Look how far you've come. The pain that once felt unbearable, it's gone. The need for her validation, non-existent. The attachment that kept you locked up, shattered. And the best part? You did this. You rebuilt yourself. You turned heartbreak into fuel. You transformed into a man who doesn't just survive without her, he thrives. Now think about her. Do you honestly believe she's grown like you have? Do you think she's evolved the way you did? No. People who walk away thinking they have the upper hand rarely put in the work to improve. They stay stuck in their patterns. They assume the world revolves around them. But you broke free. You stopped playing the game. And now you're untouchable. She might come back. She might test the waters. She might reach out, hoping to find a version of you she can control. But there won't be one. That man is gone. Now she's just another name in your past. One that no longer carries any weight. This is the final lesson. You never needed her. She was just a chapter, not the whole story. And now you write your own story, if you've made it this far. If you've fully embraced your power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I was always enough. This is the Stoic blessing. Stay strong, stay untouchable,